Hi everyone, you're welcome to the channel. My name is Tessie and today we are going to be making this. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. For this, I have my Ankara. For the top, I'm going to be making use of 2.5 yards, and then for the down part, I'll be making use of 2 yards. So let's get right into the video. So guys, it's going to be a freehand cotton. So I fold my fabric into two and it's an off shoulder. So you minus 1.5 or 2 inches from your shoulder measurement. So I took 2 inches off from my shoulder measurement. Then I'll chalk my shoulder there. And then you determine how off you want your off shoulder to be. So I'm using 5 inches because I don't want it to reveal. So I took 5 inches off. From that point, I chalked my chest line, then I chalked my bust point line, my under bust line, my waistline, and then your top length. So for now, for the top length, I'm just making use of 27 inches. I'm going to shape it later on, but for now, I'm making use of 27 inches. So I connected all my lines. As you can see, I have my chest line, my bust point line, under bust, waist, and then the top length. So what I'll be doing next is inserting the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So the nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 4 plus half inch. That's 4.5. So I'll chalk 4.5 inches all the way down. Then after doing that, I'll connect it into a straight line. Then at my under bust at this side, I'm going to be making use of 1 inch for the darts. Then this other side, I'll make use of 1.5. So I'll connect my lines all the way down. Then I'll connect from the under bust to the bust point line, coming down by half inch to eliminate pointiness. So I'll just connect my lines. Then at the neckline, I'll be coming in by 0.75 on each part. I'll do the same thing here. Then I'll connect it to the bust point line, coming up by half inch as well. So just watch what I'm doing. So guys, after doing this, we are good to go. What we'll be doing next is replacing back our darts and then adding our measurements. So at the chest line, my dart I took 1.5 inch. I'll place it there. And then at the chest line, I'll place my bust divided by 4. I'll chuck it down there. I'll replace back the dart and add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. At the under bust, I'll place my under bust divided by 4, replace back the dart and add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. Same thing as the waist divided by 4, replace the dart plus 2 inches. So at the top length, I'll place my hip measurement divided by 4. I'm going to replace back the dart I took and I'll also add 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead now to connect from the waist to the hip. So after doing that, I'm going to curve out my armhole. So I'll go ahead now to curve out my armhole. Then what we'll be doing next is at the down part, I just want to shape it a bit for now. I'm still going to reshape later, but for now, I'm just going to come up by 2 inches. So you can come up by 1.5, it depends on your preference. So from that point, I'll slant it all the way in, just as you can see. So we're good to go. Then for the sweetheart neck, I'll be coming down by 1 inch. Then I'll just give that part a curve. So you give it a sweetheart effect, just like you can see. So we're good to go. So guys, I'll go ahead now to cut out my fabric. So guys, after cutting out the front, this is what it looks like. As you can see, once you open your center front, you should have something looking like this. Then we have two pieces for the sides. So I'll go ahead now to cut out the lining piece for this as well. Then for the back, I'm going to be adding zip to it. So first thing first, I fold my fabric into two and I'm going to be chalking out 2 inches all the way down for my zip allowance. So after doing that, I'll minus 2 inches for the back as well. So you minus 2 inches from your shoulder measurement for the back, and then you chop what you have there. Then you also minus for the off shoulder, how off you want it. So I took 5 inches for the front. I'll also take 5 inches for the back. I'll chop my chest line, my waistline, and then the top length. So for now, I'm still making use of 27 inches for the back. So I'll go ahead now to connect all my lines. So at the chest line, I'll place my bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches for sewing allowance. At the waist, my waist divided by 4 plus 2 inches. I'll connect my line. Then at the top length, I'll place my hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches for my sewing and that allowance. So after doing that, I'll go ahead now to curve out my back armhole. So guys, at the down part, I'll come up by 2 inches to give that part a curve. So from that point, I'm going to curve it in for now. So for now, I'm just going to leave it this way. Later on, we're going to shape. So for the neckline of the back, it depends on how deep you want it to be. So from here, you can just come down a bit. So it depends on how deep you want it to be. So I'm just going to leave it this way. Then to eliminate zipper bulge, I'll come in by 0.75 at the waistline. Then I'll slant it all the way down and also slant it all the way up. So we are good to go. I'll go ahead now to cut out my back. So guys, this is what the front and the back looks like. As you can see, I've gone ahead to add my paper stay on it. So I'm just going to stitch using half inch all the way down. Stitch here also using half inch for the front. So guys, for the back as well, I've added my paper stay. So I'll go ahead now to fold it and take my dart for the back. And I'll also fold this other side and also take out the dart. So guys, after joining the bustier together, this is what it looks like. I have several videos on how to perfectly do this. So just watch any of my videos. So now for the final shaping, I folded my fabric into two, as you can see. So you just fold it into two this way. So you have to determine the length of the top. So you determine how long you want your top to be. So from the 5 inches, I'll take out that 5 inches and then chalk where I want the top to get to. So I want my top to be 22 inches. So I'm just going to chalk that point. I have 22 inches at that point. And then from this point here, I'm just going to curve it in. So you can see what I did. So from that point, I'm just going to curve it in and then I'll cut out the shape. So after cutting it out, this is what it looks like. You can see the shape that I have there. So I'll go ahead now to do the same thing for the front lining. So I'll shape it out as well. So guys, you need to note that the front and the back side has to be equal. So you can see the back. So we need to cut out the back as well. So what I will do is to place my front on the back. So I'll place them side to side, just as you can see. I'll place them side to side, just as you can see. Then after doing that, I'm going to chalk out the top length of the front. So that's where the back is going to stop. So I chalked out the top length of the front. So I'll take out the front and then it depends on how you want it. You can leave yours straight, you can make it U. So it just depends on the shape, but mine is just going to be straight. So I'll go ahead now to make it straight and then cut it out. So after cutting it out, I'll also cut out the same thing for this other part as well. So I'll go ahead now to cut it out. So this is what the back looks like. As you can see, we're good to go. So once you open it up and place the back on the front, you can see that the shape at the sides are equal. You can see the length on the front and the back side are equal. So I'll go ahead now to turn using my lining. So I'll close the top part, I'll close the down part as well, and then flip it to the right side. I'll do the same thing for the back. I'll place my lining on the main fabric, close the zip allowance area, the down and the top part, and then I'll flip it to the right side. So guys, for the sleeve, what I have here is 18 inches. My sleeve is on fold. This is for one sleeve. Then on fold, I have 32 inches. So it depends on how full you want your sleeve to be. So what I'll do is to place the other sleeve, fold it into two as well. And then I'll take the front, the armhole area, I'll just place it on this part of the sleeve. So make sure you fold your sleeve into two. Then you place the top armhole and then you cut out the exact thing you have there. So I'll go ahead now to cut out. So guys, after cutting it out, this is what it looks like. So what I'll do is to fold the top part and the down part of the sleeve. I'm going to be adding elastic on both the top part and the down part. So I'll go ahead now to fold it just as you can see and then stitch it all the way down. Then I'll do the same thing for the down part as well. I'll fold it and then stitch it all the way down. So guys, after turning the lining and the main fabric together, this is what it looks like. I've closed the zip allowance area for the back for now. So I'm just going to place the back on the front, pin them down, and then shape my top. So I'll go ahead now to shape. After shaping, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So guys, I'll go ahead now to attach my sleeve to the top. So I'll place them at the armhole area, right side facing each other, stitch half inch all the way up, and I'll repeat same thing for this other part as well, right side facing each other, then stitch Then I'm going to be attaching the elastic into the elastic casing. So I'll go ahead now to pass in the elastic into the elastic casing. Then I'll pass it all the way around, then stitch the both sides. So I'll put the elastic at the down part as well. So guys, this is what it looks like, as you can see. So my client wants it this way, but in case you want to add the other sleeve to it, what you need to do is to take your fabric. So I'm just going to make an illustration for you guys. So I'll fold my fabric into two, as you can see. Then I'll fold it into two again. That's into four. So you can see. So we're going to be cutting out like a flare. So let's say I'm going to be using 1 inch all the way. So 1 inch, 1 inch, then 1 inch. So now you chalk the length of your sleeve. So let's say I'm making use of 3 inches. So I'll go ahead now to rotate my tape all around. So you rotate the length of your sleeve. After doing that, go ahead, cut it out just as you can see me do. So when you cut it out, you have something looking like this. So you open it up. Once you slash it open, make sure you turn it with your lining. After turning it with your lining, weave it and then you attach it at this side of the sleeve. So you have to do it neatly. And make sure when stitching, you don't stitch it with the elastic. Just stitch it a bit closer. So guys, this is what it looks like. It's actually not my size. I just wait for you guys to see the fit. Hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys in my next class. For now, bye.